Hey guys, so this video today is probably one of the most important videos that I have done in a really long time. I felt that it was extremely needed. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of you have been lied to. And there has been a lot of information withheld from you if you are trying to succeed at a business on Amazon. So what I felt that I wanted to do today was just to take the curtain back and just give you some truth today. I feel that this is really important because the more and more people that I have worked with, that I have helped succeed, I've had to break down a lot of this misinformation. I've had to see a lot of people fail and come to me after spending thousands of dollars and not understanding why they haven't succeeded. So if I can save you some time, if I can save you some money, if I can save you some energy, then I feel like I've succeeded. There are two different ways, really, that you can sell on Amazon. Number one is I'm going to put it in the category of reselling. So reselling is everything that people say is retail arbitrage. It's selling wholesale. It's drop shipping. It's anytime you're taking somebody else's product and you are selling it on Amazon. You're listing on Amazon. This even includes products that aren't necessarily already listed and you create a listing. Anytime a product is somebody else's, that's reselling. Then you have another category, and that's called private label. Now, the misconception about private label is that you are reselling something, but instead of reselling a brand, you go to China and you buy something that doesn't have a label, and you just put it on Amazon and you're gonna get rich. And that is one of the biggest lies that I have heard out there. And so many people lose so much money from it. And it's so frustrating for me because I have a program that helps people succeed in private label. But then if they don't understand what private label is, then their idea of what, to succeed and everything is just messed up. So let's get into private label a little bit. Let's talk about the truth around private label, okay? So I've done a video before about the fact that it costs at least $4,000 to succeed at a private label, and I'll link that down below if you have not seen it before. But the other aspect of this is that when you do a true private label, it is you creating your own brand, putting a brand name on it, getting that trademarked, going through this whole process of creating your own business and your own brand. And it's super important to do this because otherwise people will go out and they'll grab your product off of Amazon, they'll sell it on eBay. And the suppliers that you get, the product from, they'll do the same thing. They'll put another listing on Amazon, they'll charge way less than you are, and you'll lose your sales. So you have to create your own brand. The other thing that most people do not tell you is that all of the products, Alibaba and all these manufacturers, when they create a prototype and the base product, they're using the cheapest materials possible. They do this because that's a starting point, right? They don't expect you to sell the product where it's super cheap like that, right? So what they expect is that that Walmart or Sears will go to them and they will negotiate with them and ask them to improve upon the product's materials and innovate that product in some way to create the product that you're going to sell. So then the next thing that I see people do is they come up with a brand new idea. They want to patent this idea, and then they go to manufacturers in China to produce the product, but they don't realize that Chinese manufacturers are not liable to anything legal in the United States. So you can create a whole, patent, you could have it, an attorney working on it, but if you go and get a product made in China, that supplier and manufacturer can and probably will recreate your product and sell it anywhere that they want, because they can. The other reason that you don't want to just go buy stuff in China and sell it on Amazon is because you're gonna get a ton of really bad reviews because people are gonna get really shoddy products and you're gonna get your store shut down. Okay, so all you have to do is go out there and Google used products and low quality products or whatever it may be. You'll see a ton for Amazon because people are doing this. They think that this is actually how you succeed, and so many people fail this way. The other thing that I want to mention is that you can't just choose a product put it on Amazon and get rich. It doesn't work that way. So if you do a private label, for example, you have to come up with a marketing campaign. You have to come up with a product launch. You have to come up with a way that you're going to drive sales to that product on Amazon. You're going to have to reach out to influencers, people that own blogs, and you're going to have to do a full-on campaign. You're going to have to know and understand digital marketing. If you don't, you're not going to make sales. You're not going to succeed. And what a lot of people do is they go, well, I'll just learn some Facebook ads and I'll go out and I will pay to promote my product on Amazon. In fact, I see this every single week. One guy I saw this week, he's like, well, I have a store outside of Amazon, but I also have a store on Amazon. I've been using Facebook ads to get sales on Amazon and using Amazon ads to get sales on Amazon. But all of a sudden, the prices of my ads have gone through the roof. I think someone's competing with me. I'm like, you think? The truth of the matter is that there's tons of people out there doing the same thing you are. And if there is a place and room for a product where someone's going to be able to make some money, do you think you're the only one that's going after that? No. You're going to have to compete. And competing on price alone and just paying to promote ads when everyone else is doing the exact same thing is not a long-term approach to a successful business. It's just not. So what's the answer? What's the answer to that? You have to learn how to innovate in your business. What does that mean? It means that you have to apply certain innovation tactics to every area of your business model, not just marketing, not just sales, not just in relation to, your customers as far as what they're getting, because Amazon has innovated in a lot of ways, right? You have to really innovate in your business. I think that's one of the things that really sets my coaching apart, because I teach people how to do this. I was taught when I was at a Big Four how to do this by the top of the top, best of the best leaders. And the only place I've ever seen this content actually offered is at Harvard Business School. And you have to be an executive, a retail executive, in order to get this training. So it's not just an everyday type of understanding or, somebody everyone knows. I'm going through digital marketing certifications now, and I've never seen anyone, no marketer, talk about what I know in innovation. So that's one area that I think that I've been able to help. In fact, one of my clients said, this one chapter in your program is worth the entire price of the whole program. And the reality is you just can't get that information anywhere else. You just can't. So in addition to all of this, you have to set up a store outside of Amazon, which I highly recommend Shopify, because you can really optimize a Shopify store. You have to understand how to target your client. You have to come up with who your client is, really understand what they like, what Facebook pages do they like, who are they following, what are their interests, what magazines do they look at, what do they read. All of this, you need to know them in order to market to them. It's not just grabbing a product and selling it on Amazon. So those of you that are reselling, here's a couple of tips to help you out. Number one is that a lot of times when you're reselling stuff, you are taking a chance, because you could find something that it says that you can make a decent amount of money on. Maybe there's not a huge sales track record. I've actually purchased products like that and I thought, well, this would probably sell, just because I felt like it would, and it did. Took a little time, but it did. But then there's other stuff that I have bought, completely did not sell. And I've had to take stuff out of my inventory and destroy it because it's worthless. So that's part of the learning process. But the fact of the matter is that if you choose a product that doesn't have a lot of reviews and lots of traffic and all of that, that's a huge sign that it's not going to sell. And I found that to be true, especially in the area of shoes. So, there are new shoes that are coming out on regular, right? But I think that it's safer to kind of stick with the standard type of shoes that people are going to use year round, or that will never really go out of style, or they're at least not going to go out of style from season to season. So there are just some standard shoes out there. I think that was one of my biggest mistakes, is that I got shoes that I thought were wonderful, that I thought were cool, and then I got some ones that I thought were kind of boring. It was the boring ones that sold. So it's not just about going out there, finding a product that you love and selling it. In fact, I've had people that have come to me in my coaching program, and they're like, I really want to sell X, Y, and Z because this is my passion in life and this is what I want to do, but there's no market for it. Or a gigantic company has that market and they would not get sales. You have to look at the data. The data does not lie. And if you don't trust that data, you're just basically choosing to fail, right? So if your desire is not to purchase some sort of dental accessory that is really hot right now, that is a really great product for you to sell, you really want to start your own business in makeup, or you really want to start your own business in lawn supplies, and that's your passion, I highly recommend that you really learn how to build a business outside of Amazon. And this is really why I have started to, migrate more towards that online business space and really understanding, getting certified in all of this, because I realized in order to help more people, I have to learn this stuff. To sell stuff on Amazon, as far as like reselling, yeah, you have to pay to promote some of your ads when you can, and then that helps you get more sales. But really, with the reselling stuff, you don't need to do much. But like most people, I realized that I really had to learn digital marketing at a whole nother level if I was going to succeed with the private label stuff. So those of you that, like I had somebody that came to me and she was reselling beach towels, and she thought that was a private label. Private label is like Kim Kardashian coming up with her own product and her putting her name on it. And this is my amazing brand. That's what a private label is. That's why they call it a private label. It's not junk you get from China and reselling it online with no branding on it or just a logo and that's it. So really ask yourself, what is it that you want to create? What is your dream business? Do you just want to make some money and you don't really care what you're selling? Or do you really care what you're selling, and when you actually start to sell stuff, you want to build a business around that? Some people might not care. Some people don't really care what they're selling. They just want to make some extra money. But know this, that if you are going to start a business on Amazon, it's not a retirement plan. It's not, passive income like they say. It is a lot of work. You have to go out and buy stuff and find stuff, and even if you do stuff online, there's just tons of manual work that you have to do. It is work. It's not a retirement plan. It's not like you can just throw stuff out there and then just sit back and lay at the beach like a lot of people make it out to be. And the other thing is that, I do think that this is really great opportunity as far as, making money. But again, you have to love to work. And you have to realize that if you want to do private label, that you're going to build a real business, that you're not just going to go out there and get a product and, as an individual, call up somebody that is a manufacturer, contact them and not know what you're doing and ask them for, because they're used to working with Sears and Walmart and Amazon. So they have professionals. Contact them. And they have a real website, and they're a business, and they know that they're dealing with a business that knows their stuff. So if you just contact them and are like, well, I, don't know what I'm doing. I'm seller on Amazon, and I want, 100 of these units. They're gonna, take you for all you're worth, because they realize that you don't know what you're doing, especially if you're not upgrading any of the materials or changing it in any way. They're going to go, oh my gosh, this is somebody we can take advantage of. And they will, because they can, and it's business. So part of the program that I have, I teach people how to, get a brochure for your business, a presentation that you can send them. I encourage them to set up a website for their business. I make sure that they know exactly what they need to say as I give them templates of exactly what you need to say when you talk to a supplier, and exactly what you need to say when you talk to a forwarder. Because if you don't have that information and you come across extremely out of the know, you just not knowing what you're talking about, they're going to take advantage of you. And so there's all these little things that are involved, and you have to start an LLC if you want to protect yourself from being sued. That's another thing that people don't really realize and they don't consider. So all of this to say, guys, is that please, if you choose to do a private label, know what it is. If you're choosing to resell stuff, know that it's not just as easy as going to the store and grabbing something. That's why I did a program to help people, teach people how to do wholesale, how to, really grow their business, how to start out with just doing retail arbitrage, then going and getting stuff online, then going and I give them a huge list of suppliers that they can start getting references with. And obviously people that don't stay with my program long enough don't get all of that information, but I provide all of that training. I take you through that entire process for reselling to grow and expand your business beyond you having to go out physically yourself to stores and get stuff. I'm going to launch my private label program very soon, and I'm going to launch it with a webinar called How to Find a Product to Sell on Amazon. And I'm going to go into more detail and explain things a little bit like I'm doing in this video today, but just really be clear of who this is for and who this is not for. What if you should be reselling, or if you should be just building a business online outside of Amazon, or if this is the right thing for you. Because the worst thing to do is to get a program that you're not going to use. And I don't want that. I don't want people in my program that really don't understand what a private label is, right? Yeah, I hope that this video has helped you guys and really opened your eyes, because a lot of people don't realize that you have to start a real business. You have to know who your audience is. You have to do the marketing. You have to do everything that you would possibly do in a real business if you want to succeed on Amazon now. And it used to not necessarily be that way, because it was a lot easier to pay people to leave reviews, and there was just all these things that the limitations that we have now today didn't exist a few years ago. And so it has changed a lot. And so I just really hope that this honest video helps you understand the right decision for you and really what you want to do as far as whether it's Amazon, reselling, drop shipping, whatever it is, that you have a clear vision of what that is. And guys, thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel.